Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Ajwritescrypto, and today we're going to talk about what separates the men from the boys when it comes to leverage trading. There are two words you're going to hear time and time again, and those words are risk management. Let's say it again, risk management. It is the deal breaker when it comes to, are you a profitable trader, or did you just get liquidated? Did you just get wrecked? All right. So how do we manage our risk? We set stop losses. Stop losses are they are your best friend when it comes to crypto trading. Well, I think the 50 EMA is your best friend, but stop losses are also a very close acquaintance. Okay. And I'm going to teach you how to do that in this video, of course, on my favorite exchange, Bitunix, the sponsor of this channel. If you want to sign up for Bitunix, let me tell you why you should. No VPN, no KYC, top shelf liquidity. All right. So this is Bitunix right here. And guys, you're going to click on futures. All right. And here on futures, you're going to click this little list, this little rundown list here, right? And you can see all the coins that you can leverage trade. All right. And right now, Bitcoin has $6.2 billion in trading volume. So you can get in and out of a very large Bitcoin trade because there's so much money on the order book. And my rule of thumb was, if you're trading altcoins, that you want to have at least 10 million on the order book. At least that's what I used to say when we were trading on Femex. And guys, there are so many more altcoins. You're scrolling this far down, and AVAX still has more than 100 million. Aave still has more than 100 million. There is so much more liquidity on Bitunix, which opens up the range of the size of the trades and how many altcoins you can target. It is top shelf place to leverage trade crypto. So before we get into a trade and set a stop loss, of course, we need to talk about what coin we're going to trade. And I think right now, Algorand is a pretty good choice for a coin to trade right now. If you look at, we have come down pretty significantly in the past couple of days, but you look at the oscillator setup here with Algorand. We kind of have this anchor wave, trigger wave kind of forming a push in that direction on market cipher B, the momentum oscillator, right? The thing is that this is the daily chart, and keep in mind, the larger the time frame, the more important the indicator. All right. And as we are going up on the oscillator, we're coming down in the price action. This is called a bullish divergence. All right. And of course, the point of control, but where the most amount of volume is on Algorand, is all the way up here, 44 cents. Right now, we're on the 786 Fibonacci level. 121% up the hill is where all the volume is. And keep in mind, looking at the reason I want to trade Algorand is because it is sitting on the 786 Fibonacci level. So when you kind of zoom into Algorand on a smaller time frame, did not mean to draw that line there, one moment. So when you're looking at Algorand on a smaller time frame, the idea of this trade is that, okay, we put this low in right here, okay? And I'm going to bet that Algorand is that this could be the low for today. I'm going to bet that Algorand is going to not go below this level, and it's going to come up and at least retest the 50 EMA. So this is what I like to call a pressure trade, when our target for the trade is the 50 EMA. So about 28, so almost 21 cents would be our take profit. So right now what I'm doing is I'm making a plan before I trade. Most people just jump in trades. No, you want to have a plan. So my stop loss is going to be right underneath that previous low. All right. So that would be from the current price. Under that low would be so that low is 1.24 down from the price. So if we set it about 1.5% down from the price, that would be good. And of course, we're really trying to get back to that 50 EMA, which is probably this high here, 2007, 2008, like I said. So we're looking at about a 2.1% to the upside, would be our take profit. So we have our plan for the trade. Very important. Now we're going to go over to Bitunix. We're going to click in Algorand, ALGO. As you can see, 18.47 million in trading volume, more than enough trading volume to get in and out of large positions on Algorand. For the sake of this video, This trade is just for demonstration. This isn't like a proper trade I'd give you in the group. Normally we trade in the direction of the EMA. I'm just doing this trade for demonstration, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know about how to leverage trade and how to set stop losses on Bitunix right here, right now. All right, so right here's your order book. And people get freaked out about order books. I don't know why. Order books are very simple. The red money, this is people selling. The green money, this is people buying. When there's more green than red, the price goes up. And when there's more red than green, the price goes down. It's very simple. And on the order book, it shows you the price at which people are selling, how much they're selling, the quantity, and the sum. Okay. So it's very simple. So you could set a limit order. You know, I tend to, I don't like when people say, okay, say before this happened, someone's like, okay, well, I'm going to set a long order, you know, right here if it comes down. Well, doing that can get you in a lot of trouble. As you can see, it just kind of runs right down. So I do kind of tend to trade a little bit more in the moment than I've seen people who set limit orders. That's not really my favorite thing to do. So what I would do here is I'm going to literally, just to get the trade open, I'm going to click on someone who's selling Algorand. So you can change your order price by clicking on the order book and seeing, okay, that changes the price. So around 2037 would be a good entry. All right, so I'm going to say a very small amount of the trade here. Oh, very important thing. Right here, it says cross. Click on that and change it to isolated. Why is that so important? Why is that so important? An isolated trade, say you're trading $10,000, trading 10 grand. If you get liquidated, you lose that $10,000. In a cross trade, instead of, but say you did a $10,000 trade, you're in a cross trade, but you have $100,000 in that account. In a cross trade, if you were to get liquidated, instead of that liquidation occurring, it will reach into the other pile of money that's not even in that trade to keep that trade alive. I've heard some horror stories about people who don't know the difference between cross and isolated. Learn the hard way. Trade isolated so you can only lose the amount of money that's on the table. And since we're going to set a stop loss, we're not going to worry about getting liquidated anyway. Here at Ajwritescrypto, the Grogger Nation, we don't get liquidated. We get stopped out. And getting stopped out isn't a bad thing. I'd rather see you lose 1 or 2% than take a very large dent, or even worse, get liquidated. All right, so let's head back over. We changed it to isolated, guys. When it comes to how much leverage, you know, professional traders that trade with 10x, they're playing with fire too. 3x leverage is a lot of leverage. 5x leverage is a lot of leverage. If you're struggling with spot trading, you shouldn't be trading with 10x leverage. You should only move your leverage up as you have years under your belt and you are very confident in those positions. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to trade with 4x leverage in an isolated trade. All right, so we're going to say about 3% of our bag here, nominal value. So right here it says cost right there. It says $5,200. So that's how much of our actual money we're putting in this trade. But when it says open long right here, it says $20,750. That's because that's the total value of the trade after you take the leverage into account. So it's a $5,000 trade with 4x leverage, $20,000. All right, so we're going to have our spot in the order book so we can get right into the trade. Anytime you do this, you will take an initial shock. As long as you trust your trade, trust your idea, that's not that big of a deal. I'm going to open long just for the sake of this. So we have our open price, current price, mark price. If you don't know what that is, very quick Google. I want to make this a shorter video. It has your liquidation price. So 15.4 we would get liquidated. Says the amount of Algorand, a $2 fee. Click confirm. All right, boom, just like that, our position is open. Let me move my head up here. All right, so you can see that this is a quick, long idea. We're just trying to get to the 50 EMA, like we said, was at 2008. So how do we set our stop loss? So Bitunix makes this very simple. So right here, we have our position, right? All you have to do, we said that we don't want to see it go below this low right here, right? Make that yellow so you can see it better. All right, so what we're going to do right here where it says SL stop loss, we're literally just going to drag this down just underneath that line. Boom, our stop loss is set, just like that. That's how easy it is to set a stop loss. And said, okay, we're going to move our take profit. We want to move it to up here, to above right at that previous high. Boom, our take profit is set. So now we will either hit our stop loss and right here down in the position in the bottom left, If we hit our stop loss, we'll lose $357. But if we hit our take profit, we'll win $387. So this is where we get into some more of the nitty gritty details and even some of my trading strategy. The take profit we set, nope, I'm going to cancel that take profit. That take profit is out the door, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. So say this trade, we're correct, all right, and this trade comes up the hill, all right. What I will do is that say we get up from our position here, say we're up, 5% in this trade at 21.46 right here. What I will do in that situation, instead of setting a take profit, I will actually move my stop loss up. I will move my stop loss up into here somewhere. So worst case scenario, I make money. Worst case scenario, instead of, winning this 5%, I will win this 3.5%. Why do I do this? Because if I move my stop loss up, I don't use trailing stop losses on exchanges. I kind of trail my own stop losses because sure, I could get stopped out right here and I, win 3%. But say the trade just keeps going and has a God candle and goes back to 30 cents. Guess what? I'm still in that trade. I'm not cutting I'm not shooting myself in the foot by, taking such a little cheap take profit. I have my stop loss set when the trade opens. That's what matters the most in this situation. Like I said, if it comes to just below this line, we get stopped out, we lose our $300, big deal, right? But say we're correct, say we go in the right direction. I'm not going to limit how much money I can make because I set a take profit. I'm going to let the trade play out. And then once we get to a point where you could say, okay, let's take some profits, just move your stop loss up. It's very simple. And if the trade was in profit, I could just grab the stop loss here and pull it up, just like how we said it. We pulled it down, and it's that simple. So say you want to get into more of the nitty gritty. Down here, you can flash close your trade. I never recommend flash closing a trade because you're putting your trade into the hands of the market gods. All right. Basically, when you flash close a trade, you're getting whatever is the best available money that second. If you're up $400 and you click flash close, you're lucky if you walk away with $350. All right. And then you could click reverse. So say your trade's going around say you think that moment in time, you don't want to go long and you want to go short. Guys, I've seen people get in a lot of trouble clicking the reverse button. And what I don't like about the reverse button is that if you read this, your position will be closed at market priced and opened in reverse for the same amount. So you're kind of flash closing your initial trade. You're going to take that dent because you didn't set the order yourself. And then it's risky business. Stay away from reversing. All right. If you want to switch, if you want to go from short to long or long to short, do it manually and you will save yourself a couple dollars. Okay. So, hey, our trade's up $30. Love to see that. But if you want to get more into the nitty gritty, click on take profit stop loss right here. So it says position TPSL. So this means that, say I go to my stop loss here and I type in, P&L, so profit loss, whatever I do in position, the entire position will be stopped out at that level. Or say I go to 25 cents for my take profit. At that point, the entire position will be out at that level. If I go to stop loss and I type in right now, we're at 20.035. So say at 18 cents, I'll close this entire position. That's positional TPSL. You can also, right here, it says by profit loss. So you type in the amount of money. So 0.18. So right here, you would, that's not correct. I didn't go 0.18. So right here, we would lose our $46. But say you want to do it by percentages, set your stop loss by percentage, click on ROI, return on investment. And so you can open a trade and say, I don't want to risk more than 2%. Just click 2%, click confirm. And just like that, your stop loss is set at 2% from that level. And in this case, we would lose $102. So keep in mind, this is for position take profit stop loss. So the entire position, you will either take profits or get stopped out at that level. But say you want to have 50% left in the trade or get out 25%. Well, you can do that by clicking partial. So partial is very simple. So right here, you go order quantity. So right here, I could click on 50% and say Algorand's at 20 cents right now. If it gets to 22 cents, I could get out 50% of this trade and then leave the rest in. Or you could do the same thing with a stop loss. Say, okay, I'm going to go 50% of the trade. All right. And right now we're at just about 20 cents. So let's say at 18 cents, 0.18, I want to get out of half the position. You could do that as well. Or same thing, you could do it by ROI. So say at 5% ROI, if a trade goes down 5%, I want to exit half the position. Or even on the other, click ROI for take profit. At 5%, at 5% profit, I want to get out half of the position. Very easy to do it by the price. So you're typing the price in by PNL that you want to get out at, or you can type in the percentage you want to make or the percentage you're willing to risk by clicking ROI. I don't use buy chains. I also don't use trailing stop losses on this platform. I trail my own stop losses manually. Like I said, hey, we're up $40 in our trade right now. Love to see it. But say, all right, so we're up $40, right? So let's just say that we opened our position here. All right. So say I wanted to scoot. So instead of manually setting a trail, I will just scoot my stop loss up into profits and then click out like that. I'm not going to do that in this scenario. I think, I can make a little bit more than $40 in this trade. But, say if the trade went, all the way up to here, I would just drag my stop loss to here. And if I get stopped out, I get stopped out in profits. Or if it keeps going, it keeps going. And I'm making all of that money. So right now we're up $51. Yeah, for the sake of argument, let's just do that. So this level right here, the dotted line, is where the price is right now. So I'm going to click the stop loss. I'm going to pull it up to here. All right. So now our stop loss is set. Click on TPSL just to see where I set it at. Oh, that's not the same thing. Sorry. But yeah, so right now our position is, it didn't happen. That's why. Because I have my hand on the brush. I'm going to click my stop loss, pull it up to here. All right, so now my stop loss is set, is that I will make $20, worst case scenario. You know what I mean? But that's how you would do that. I'm going to leave this trade open and pull the stop loss back down, but that's how simple it is to change your stop loss. You just grab it and pull it the way you want to go, and just like that, your stop losses change. So trail your own stop losses instead of doing the trailing stop loss on the platform. So you know how to partial stop loss, take profit. You know how to fully take profit, stop loss, guys. This is the details that make or break traders. I know this video is about 17 minutes at this point, and if you're still watching, you're trying. You're still watching this video. Give yourself a pat on the back because you're learning what it takes to become a professional leverage trader. Guys, I didn't become a millionaire overnight. This has been a long grind, a lot of wins, a lot of losses, been liquidated. It happens. You will have the scars to show. Leverage trading is not for the faint of heart, but if you're going to do it properly. Do it one day at a time, and always set a tight stop loss. That way you can only lose so much, especially on Bitunix. It's such a great place to trade because there's so much money on the order books. It's never just going to shoot past your stop loss and get demolished. There's so much money on these order books. If your stop loss gets hit, this platform respects your stop losses. So guys, if you want to sign up for Bitunix, of course, click the link down below, get yourself signed up. No VPN, no KYC, top shelf liquidity. And of course, if you want to learn more about my personal trading strategy, sign up for my Telegram group. It's about $360 for a year. You can send me an email at ajalphagroup@gmail.com. On my Telegram group, I post all of my personal setups all the time. If I'm in a trade, you have the chart for it before the trade opened. So not many other leverage traders do that. I do. So, but I do, like our little Algorand long idea right now. We're up about $30. I'm going to let this thing open. I'll let you know in the Telegram group how it works. But of course, if it was to come up to here, I am going to move my stop loss up. And the worst case scenario is that I make money. So guys, there you go. You now know how to set stop losses. If you're opening a trade like we did in this video, make a plan before you open the trade. Spend time on the chart. Figure out where your stop loss is going to be before you open the trade. Figure out what your plan of attack, like where you're going to move your stop loss up before you open the trade. If you're not making a plan, you're going to get wrecked and not get rich. So guys, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, all the things. I want to know what alarm you have set right now. What trades are you looking at right now? I want to know down below in the comments. That's all I got. Everybody have a safe rest of your weekend. Get rich or get wrecked. Later.